Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesha Sanyavadi Paskacha Desatarani. So this is actually we're going to do three things today. Depending on how long it takes, we'll do two for sure, three. This is a presentation put together by Vaisheshika Prabhu, and it has two parts. One part is about how to do books. Well, let me say this first. They have a saying, out of every cloud has a silver lining. And the devotee knows how to take nectar from the stock of poison and gold from an unclean place. So this is a challenging time. COVID, we all know the story. Everybody's locked up. Even when they open up, everyone's got to stay social distancing, and for good reasons. So does that mean book distribution is dead? So this is how to do book distribution, another idea. And it's something, when I was saying about every cloud having a silver lining, this is something we should have developed and have been meaning to develop, but the tendency of humankind naturally is to do that which is the most expedient, that which is they call it low-hanging fruit, that which is the easiest, fastest. If it produces the result, do that. But there is a whole world happening online. And because we go to colleges, we set up book tables, we go, and it's working. But there's a whole other field that can be developed. Also, once they get the book, like I said the other day, they've been getting something like 9,000 people at the Bhagavatam classes online in New York, because people in New York are really in trouble. So, but even once they get the book, or they get online to the class, what's the next step? Does a gardener just plant the seeds? Okay, I threw some seeds. Life is done. What do you also have to do if you want to get fruit? You have to cultivate it. You have to water it. You have to tend it. You have to cultivate it. And then it grows. So the seeds, without the seeds, nothing happens. But if you want the seeds to bear the greatest degree of fruit, then you cultivate it. So there's two parts of this presentation. One part of the presentation is, how do we distribute books online? How do we distribute books in the age of COVID? It doesn't mean we won't again be going to colleges and farmers markets and setting up book tables in Balboa Park. That'll all get sorted out. But hey, Krishna's opening another door. So this is that other door. So that's part one of it. And the other thing is something that now devotees are turning their attention to, because everybody's forced to be locked up and we've been forced to work online. You'll see some of the things that are coming soon online are already present and being gathered together by some of the most innovative, intelligent devotees we've got, are figuring out how to develop this new field. And we can too. So there's that. That's part one, is how to do books online. You'll see. Cultivate and meet people online. Two is, okay, once they get the book, once they come to hear the Bhagavatam class or whatever online, anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. So that's the other phase. Okay, how do we cultivate people? And then the third thing, if we get done in time, and I'll try to make sure we do, is just for fun, but I think you'll find it enlivening. It's the presentation that was made to the GBC this year in Mayapur, at the annual general meeting in Mayapur of the governing body, ISKCON's governing body. That was at the beginning of March, into February, beginning of March. And it's about the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. And it's got, I think you'll find it enlivening. And it's also got not only what's going on now, the things that are being developed, and the status of the temple now, but it's also got some computer renderings, or what do you call that, imaging, you know, that'll show you what it's going to look like when it's finished and what the interiors. So you'll like it. Okay, so let us begin. Janardhan. Yeah, why don't we dim the lights? Leave Prabhupada's light on, and we'll dim the others. Good idea, Jamalji. Anybody got popcorn? Actually, as a sidelight, it's hard to find popcorn these days. Well, that depends. But the point is that, I don't know, what's life without a little bit of jam, as the French say? You know, you have just dry bread. But because everybody's so cooped up in home, just watching whatever they can find on cable or whatever, they're all buying up the popcorn. You can't find it. Okay, internet book distribution. Next. Devotees are simply determined to execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative, the spiritual master, in all circumstances. Even amidst the greatest danger, they undeviatingly carry on with the greatest determination. What did Prabhupada say, the word impossible? Where do you find that word impossible? Anyone know other than Vijay Prabhu? You find it in a Fool's Dictionary. So, behind everything ultimately is the hand of Krishna, and a devotee, just like I think it's Rupa Goswami who says, but anyway, the analogy is still there. One who's an expert geologist knows how to find gold and how to to follow that vein and how to mine it for its full benefit. So a devotee knows how to look at the material nature and figure out how to extract the best course for the greatest service to Krishna. So that's what it's saying here. Next. Now, we all have some contacts. If you're on book distribution, you're saving names, those people that we were all supposed to, those people that you never had a chance to get back with. Even if you don't have contacts, hey, who are some nice people you know, people you've met at the Krishna Lounge? I'm even thinking we can look at who's on our mailing list. So we can find names, people we know, people on our mailing list, people who are donors to the temple. There's all kinds of ways we can get people's names, people that we know. So call them up. Next. And what does it say? Pick and call one contact in your contact list. Yeah, a call a day. I had a friend who was a salesman, and he used to say, on the line by 9, a bunch by lunch, a winner by dinner. That was his, he lived, and he was a successful salesman, calling people. So his mantra was what? On the line by 9, a bunch by lunch, possible contacts and people, and then a winner by dinner, So in the same, one person a day, everybody can call one person a day and check how they are doing. There'll be a summary of this later. And you can call people up, hey, I'm just completely straightforward. I'm from the temple. We know you, you're on your, how are you doing? How what's up? People want to talk, How, do you need anything? Are you okay? Are you remembering Krishna? Then what does it say? Because I have my glasses. Share the transcendental knowledge. The world needs to know. Say, hey, listen, people are thinking about, because people are thinking about what's going on, why has this happened, this, that, So share some transcendental knowledge with them. And then, okay, next. Call framework. And I can get you copies of this. I can send you all of this. Well, you'll see later on. But we just try. I remember when we first started doing big books, Prabhupada printed, I forget the number, but it was thousands of the Krishna book, Volume 1, Volume 2. And they were shipped out to temples. And they sat there. They sat in the basements or in the attics, and nobody knew what to do. We would stare at them. Nobody knew what to do with them. And then we heard, in San Francisco, they were actually showing people the Krishna books. That was the first mass distribution hardbound book we had. And they were sometimes 10, 12 brahmacharis. They would sell up to 5 hardbound books a day. We were shocked. We started going in Los Angeles, this is 1970, going door to door. We'd go, regular Sankirtan and then door to door in the afternoons, late afternoon when people started to get home. And we would sell books. And we started selling, each devotee maybe 1 or 2 hardbound books a day. You multiply. All of a sudden we were doing a couple hardbound books a day across America. Keshava went to London, and all of a sudden, big book distribution took off. Well, it'll never happen in India. They'll never buy big books in India. Big book distribution in India is now so we just started. And the results were small, and we fumbled around, and we didn't know how to do it right. But how do you learn? You start. You just try. And there's a saying that, better a good plan today than a better plan tomorrow. I'll say it again. Better a good plan today than a better plan tomorrow. Just sitting around till you actually figure out how to do it just right. I mean, we want to use our intelligence. But just start. Just try. And from that, we'll learn how to do it. And the fact of the matter is, that's how book distribution started. We distributed Back to Godhead magazines, and if the LA Harinam Party sold 50 Back to Godhead magazines at 25 cents each, it was a major success. And now, so we just try, and it's going to get huge. We're going to figure it out, and it's going to be huge. And we have no idea exactly what we're going to figure out and exactly how we're going to do it and what doors Krishna is going to open. But it's we are standing on the crest of a whole new wave. Just as I look back at that, now we do, big books and how it started. You young men and young ladies, whoever's out there listening to this, and oldsters also, but new pioneers in this field, you're going to look back 5 years and say, wow, was that far out? Okay. So you introduce yourself, you connect, you inform about the online programs, because we're offering a whole suite. You're going to see a whole suite of online like a whole set, a whole world of online programs. And hey, ask if they'd like a book, ask for donations, and ship contactless e-books. So okay, there we go. So we're going to e-books they're developing also. Okay, keep going. So different people are doing it. My child is volunteering to ISKCON to share Srimad Bhagavatam this weekend with 2 families. They have kids. You'll see pictures giving Bhagavatam class to other kids. These are kind of some of the things they're going to do online. I'm volunteering for ISKCON for Translated Book Distribution Initiative. How to introduce yourself. I'm volunteering for a project called Go Matsya. My goal is to reach 10 families each weekend. So there's all different ways. Keep going. To introduce yourself. Now, this I should say of it. He looks like he's half asleep. That's because he's caught in mid-sentence. You'll see, this is Bhakta Alex. And let Bhakta Alex grow on you. He's got a job. He's a young devotee. This is what he does in his free time. He's in the East Coast. It's pretty far out.
Hare Krishna, my name is Bhakta Alex from New York, and I'm making this video in light of all the coronavirus craziness that's been going on, especially in regard to book distribution. As book distributors, we haven't been able to go outside, which is very difficult for us. And so I've been trying, like many others, to just find ways to continue doing book distribution with some success. Previously, it was mostly just messaging, texting, emailing people who either I'd met at the book table previously or I knew had some kind of interest in spirituality, and so just seeing maybe they would want either another one of Srila Prabhupada's books or they may be interested in receiving one. And with this method, I found some success, kind of sporadic though, and nothing really concrete. And it wasn't until Vaisheshika Prabhu gave his class via Zoom, requesting everybody listening to call one person that day and try and pitch Srila Prabhupada's books. From that day forward, I decided I would try and call at least 3 people a day and pitch Srila Prabhupada's books, just going down my contact list A to Z and not discriminating if I really knew that person that well or how personal the relationship was when I did know them or how long it's been, but just pressing the call button and seeing, what happens. So calling, first catching up with them. Are you okay with the coronavirus thing going on? Is your family safe? Of course, we all have a nice conversation starter because we could just talk about the corona, make sure everyone's okay. And then from there, segue into, well, in lieu of all the coronavirus craziness that's going on, the Yoga Meditation or Wisdom Center that I volunteer at is doing a special lockdown book drive in which we're mailing out copies of the original Yoga Meditation Wisdom text of India that's thousands of years old. It was studied by guys like Emerson and Thoreau, Gandhi, the Beatles, Tupac, Einstein, Martin Luther King. And it's ancient spiritual wisdom all about how to get free from stress and how to be the best version of yourself. Even if you're limited externally, how to go really deep within internally. And then from there, asking for a donation, of course, and say we accept Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle. A few older people I had contacted had asked if they could send a check in the mail, which obviously isn't ideal, but it's okay if that's their only option. And then receiving their mailing address, and then either once a week or as many times as you'd like, going to the post office, being very safe, of course, with masks, gloves, and such. And shipping them out. And by this method, I found immense success, not only in the ratio of people who I've called and who've actually taken books, but in how grateful people are. And that a lot of the time I'll get a text right back after the call's finished that, thank you so much, here's my mailing address, here's a donation. And I think it's really amazing that you're doing this with all the stuff that's going on, or I've been looking for something like this, and so it's so amazing you called. And then it's just been extremely successful. So to summarize, the steps are, step 1, go down your contact list and call everybody. Even if you didn't really know them that well, give them a call, try it out. Step 2 is very important. You must get personal. Make sure you make a personal connection with them before going on to the book pitch. Step 3 is the book pitch, Coronavirus Book Drive, short, concise presentation of Srila Prabhupada's books. Step 4, you get their mailing address. Step 5, you get their payment, whether it be Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, whatever it might be. Step 6 is you glove up, you mask up, and you go to the post office, and you ship them out all over the world. And that's it. So thank you for your time. All glories to the devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the Sankirtan Yagya. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Alex. He's on fire. We can skip this one because of the time. This is a kid. What this is, and I can give you guys the link for all this. Go back just for a sec. This is a young, I don't know how old that guy is. What, 14, some 13, who knows? He's selling books, making the presentation to people he knows from schools, families. So it doesn't matter who you are. You can do this. Next. Here's just, they're packing up the books. This is, who's that, used to be on the East Coast in New York? They're doing it. Okay, next. Ship them out. And there you go. This is the, what is that group? I can't remember the name. That traveling Sankirtan party? Not Ray Ram, but they're out of New York City. Anyway, they're big. And they've, Well, we'll get there in a sec. But anyway, and it's just shut down. They were completely in anxiety. They've gone online. So it's not just Bhakta Alex. There's a number of devotees that were in anxiety what to do now, and they're opening it up. Here, these are all books they're shipping out. Okay, next. Now, contactless delivery. They just like UPS. They put it see the package there by the door, and then they take a snap showing that, hey, here's the books that you ordered. They take a snap, and then they send them a text or call them, hey, your books are by your door. So it's they're safe, we're safe. Next. Oh, here's Carly in Maryland receives a Shapta Rishi set. I I forget in this presentation if they talk about it, but this Saptarishi is a combination of 7 books. Started out of, I think comes out of England, they started it first. But like Vaisheshika Prabhu said, sell them like bunches of bananas. You don't just buy one banana. So people you don't know exactly what book they're going to like. Sometimes it's Science of Self-Realization. Sometimes it's Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes they just get knocked out by the teachings of Lord Chaitanya or the whatever it may be. So this is a Krishna book. So this is a combination of books. First canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what knocked me through a loop. So this is the Saptarishi set. So think about that. It's as much effort as we put into distributing one book. And people spend so much money. They buy sets, they do this, that, they are so bored, they're going online and buying, fancy espresso coffee machines or who knows what they're buying. Popcorn machines if in their own home. And to buy a set of books, what does Saptarishi say? Is it $50? Saptarishi said? $50, 7 books. I mean, you can't even buy those on Amazon for that price. We'll get there in a second. So there'll be more. I'll give you all the information, support information. But she's a nice girl. She's so happy. Okay, next. Here's another. He got his Krishna book. So that he's a serious kid. Next. Okay, keep going. Oh, no, I think, can we click on this one? Can we go back on this one? See if there's a video for this.
No video.
Well, there should be a video. It's not your fault, Janardhan. It's from the original thing. This is a business up in Santa Cruz or Monterey Bay here in California, and they had a very successful shop, and they still, now you can't do it. It was both a cafe, and they also anyway, it's a whole thing. You could pick what kind of fruits or vegetables, and they would cook them up and can them up for you in a nice bottle. Okay, it was a whole thing, and they were doing huge. So, click the next. Is there audio? It's not there. Okay, go back. I'm sorry. Somehow or other, the video's not in this. But this lady is describing, she and her husband run this business. And people started, just like you get meals to go. What is that? Now restaurants are closed, but you can call in to-go orders. So people started calling in and getting care packages of different, because they make bread there, they do all kinds of stuff. So people started ordering, send me some bread and some jam and some canned vegetables, not canned like in a tin can sitting there for 20 years, but nice, preserved in a jar. I can cook it up. And they started putting books inside them. They just, a small book, and they you can see how many they're shipping out in a day. People said, look, hey, forget the cook-up. You got more books. So now they're having a very successful. They're shipping out books along with their care packages. Okay, next. Sorry. So Team New York City, 2,456 books, 86 sets. This is since the lockdown. So you figure since what? March, beginning of March, first, second week of March. This is what they've done in New York City. Next. This is ISV, 16,000 books. 1,600 books, 39 sets. Next. This is Los Angeles, 320. This is all online, and then 18 sets. So it says, speaks for give Srimad Bhagavatam. The world needs it. This whole presentation is at distributebooks.com. You go for distributebooks.com, and all of this presentation, all the information, all the script, how to do it, it's all there on that distributebooks.com. Okay, next. This is the Bhadra Purnima. Bhadra Purnima describes if you get if you distribute, if you give, sell, receive, whatever it is, a Srimad Bhagavatam set on this Bhadra Purnima season, there's a whole list of, it's like one of those portals that opens up, and it's like a time worm or you get to go back to Godhead, you take your family with you, all sinful deeds are eradicated. It's one of those, just like Ekadasi or Kartik, it's a special time. So we need to start, it's in the autumn, I forget exactly when, September? It'll be here. If it's not here, I'll get more information. But we need to think about that. The goal is to do 10,000 sets in North America. Now, man, we're thinking North America. Let's think North America. If I'm wrong and it's the world, let's think North America. We're talking Canada. Okay, keep going. Oh, maybe you're right. So here's the UK. Here's their goals. They've already broken it down. They're going to do 500 sets, so you must be right. I'm sorry. So 10,000 for the world. But you can see, they've got a plan. Make a plan. What is the saying? Plan your work, work your plan. I'm going to say it again. Plan your work, then work your plan. So set a goal for yourself. Or set a goal for the temple, a goal for the North America. We're all working in this together. Make a plan, and then just execute your plan. Okay, next. Strategies for success. Well, I guess we should. What time is it? I don't have my watch on. What time is it? 8:15. Well, I'll just read it because of the online crowd. Connect with devotees, encouraging them to connect with their contacts. Organize online readings of Bhagavatam. Promote the campaign with all your online classes. This is for leaders in ISKCON. These are things that they should do. Make campaign posts for all your... Okay, we'll deal with that later on. Next. Your regional team will have regular meetings, and your regional lead will be able to answer all your questions. So this is... We're setting it up... Because this was a presentation made to the North American GBC and Leaders Group. We have a conference call every 2 weeks. So this was to us, okay, how do we get this rolling? Okay, we'll keep going. Keep going, because of the time. Keep going. So send care packages. This comes to, a lot of churches are doing this now, and a lot of other groups now are sending people care packages. So why can't we do that? And I click to the next, sorry. I don't know if there's an embedded video in this one. This is New Jersey Church sparks movement after sending care packages to members with coronavirus. So now it's spread all across America, and I think Canada also. But we can do the same thing. We can put together a little care package, send them a little Mahaprasadam, nicely packaged, so, whatever. We can think of it. Send them some books, send them a CD or whatever, some... Okay, next. Connecting with patrons. Letter from the temple, small book, temple restaurant, gift coupon, but they can use it online. Invitation to learn more about Srimad Bhagavatam. Next. So here, this is ISV. Here they're sending out these little care packages to all their contacts. People appreciate it. You get something in the mail, nice. Go, next. Okay, keep going. These are. I'll go back. These are some of their flyers that they slip. The books that you can get online for the phone-in books. If you have a restaurant, phone-in to-go orders. Like our Govindas in Denver, I think, is doing this. They're definitely doing it in Tucson at the restaurant. You phone in and you come and pick up your order. Next. Toronto is doing 1,200 of these care packages. That's their goal. Okay, next. Now, e-books. We actually, there's a team at the BBT, I think mostly North Europe, have actually done a good job on e-books. But there's not much of a market for it. We haven't really been presenting it so much. It's coming to you soon. It's already there, but we've got to improve it, that people can get our books, e-books, on Amazon for Kindle. Okay, next. 3 steps. You have to buy these e-book gift cards. So the temple buys it. This is the current system. The temple buys a bunch of these, then they buy from the temple. But we're working on honing this down. There's a saying, and you'll see the picture, and it comes from the Silicon Valley and how they got going. Because you've got the big IBM, international businesses. So you got these big companies that were on the cutting edge of computers. But they're slow. They're big, huge, lumbering beasts. And these little companies started moving fast, whoosh, moving around. And their motto was, fail fast early. Just get going. Break things and move forward. Just get going. You're going to make mistakes. They're going to be problems. Fine. Just start going. So we're starting online. You can get these e-book cards. Each temple's going to buy some. I was talking with Vaish how to do it. But eventually we'll get to the point we have to refine it. We have to have enough volume that Amazon becomes interested. There's a whole way that it's going to develop. But people are going to be able to just order on Kindle, Prabhupada's books. Okay, next, on Amazon. Okay, we'll keep going, because we don't want to take much time. Now, this is, once they get the book, once they come to some classes online, and we've all been laboring on this for years. It's been in the back of our mind. How do we help people take the next step? And I've mentioned there's that Buddhist group in Boulder, sleepy, nothing. We were running circles around them. They started going online, giving classes, giving courses, because people want to grow. What did he say? Become the better version of ourselves. Each of us wants, if you're pious, you want to become a better version of yourself. So how to do that? How to take people from where, and how to bridge, how to present things. Like what did Bhakta Alex said, I'm calling from your local wisdom center. If you say your local church, your local synagogue, your local temple, think about, I've done that. I know it's dry and it didn't do a thing for me. But it's a nice local wisdom center. It's not, it's the truth. So, you'll see. Next. Let's hope this one plays. So, hang on a sec. So they've got beginning bhakti, bhakti on, once you're developed and you're interested, what's your next step? What is bhakti? Why are we even interested? So that's the beginning bhakti. Bhakti on, once you become serious, how to study Prabhupada's books. There you can get Bibles and study guides that are thematic. People sometimes they pick up the Bhagavatam and they don't know where to start. Prabhupada said it's like a sugar tree, any part you touch is sweet. That's true. But sometimes it's a little hard to enter into the Bhagavatam. Kali Yuga, they're not that bright. But Bibles, they've got thematic. I can get a Bible that would, suppose I'm what to do about depression and discouragement. It'll give you all the different verses you can read. What to do about struggling marriage, all the different verses. What to do, all those different, what to do about lust, all the different verses. So we've got devotees right now going through the Bhagavatam, so that going through Bhagavad Gita, so people going through Chaitanya Charitamrita, so they can get thematic study guides to Srila Prabhupada's books, how to open them up, how to enter into them. Because the knowledge is there. Knowledge that can't be found anywhere else, but how to give them that access. So, next. Okay, now, click on this. Volume. Stop it. What do we do about volume?
I have to go back in and make sure the Bluetooth.
Jack it up. Go quick. A slight break. Is it going to take long? Otherwise, I'll just verb it. What this is presenting, we have fantastic material all around the world. But it's not gathered together. In South Africa, in India, in the UK, here in America, in Hungary. We've got fantastic speakers, great programs, but it's not coordinated. It's not sequential. So we have devotees right now that are searching all over the world, finding the best material, and then putting it into packages and courses that people can take online. That's what this is explaining. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's go back where we are. No more time for this. I know I'm pushing you. Let's go back to the beginning of this thing and I'll read. Thanks, Brew. So here's one, it's, what's it called? Class 1, the illusion. Class 2, path out of illusion. And you can see all the breakdown there. What's the next one? Next is Class 3, what is it? Progression, that needs more. Divine source at the path's end. You see how it's a progression? And these are all broken down into courses. All in the right type of language, in the right type of mood, all with graphics like this. There's Breakout as a podcast. There's Sadhana On as another podcast. So depending on where they're at in their spiritual life, we take them there and we take them to the next step. Stop that. Can we freeze that? Coming soon, beginning Bhagavad Gita, from confusion to clarity. We can't freeze that? I guess we can't. Let's go back and show that. Well, let's go. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm giving Janardan mixed messages. This is just, I hope you get a sense of how enlivening this is. Because there are smart people. Prabhupada said there are Brahmins on every corner. Just go and get them. There are people who are thinking about this. But a lot of the times we present things in ISKCON lingo. You know, we have our own language. And you have to unpack, like a sutra. You have to unpack that for them. We don't realize just how many times did Prabhupada give classes on You're Not This Body and walk people through it. I've given classes just taking that example of, there's the chariot and there's the horses and there's the driver and there's the passenger. It's like mind-blowing to what? And you're the passenger. You're not the horse. You're not this. What? So how to do that with our best speakers, with fantastic graphics. And, okay, what do you do when you're beyond that? Okay, I know all that. So what do I do about it? How do I stay fit? You got the idea. So that's what those courses are coming. So let's move on to, what's the next slide? Is this from this is from the UK. They're calling it Idea Seeds to expand online distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. Can you read what the graphics there are? It says, become the person you want to be. Let's go, because we're running out of time. Let's get rid of that bar there. Launching a meditation care package for frontline workers. UK, they're going, because UK got hit hard. They're going to hospitals. They got a care package. They got books. They've got package prasadam with a picture that everybody had a mask and how it was, COVID protected, packed prasadam. Then they've got a sample book. Then they've got how they can go online. They're getting amazing responses from hospitals, from, Okay, next. Now, Winston Churchill, never waste a good crisis. People are freaked, and this thing is not going away. They're gonna bend the curve. They're gonna get so they can stabilize it, so it's not just expanding exponentially. They're happy. They're not happy, but they're happy that they're making. There's 800 people a day dying in New York City. And that's considered, well, at least it's not expanding, so they're feeling some satisfaction that, hey, we're getting a handle on this thing. But it's going to stay simmering, and there are going to be pockets coming up. It may come back in the fall, and it's going to mutate. So this is something, life is not going to go back to normal. There's going to, the foolish, half asleep, everything's fine in this world. That's not going to happen. So, as it says here, never waste a good crisis. People are hungry. We have the answers. We have solace for the soul. So we need to take advantage of this time. We're going to jump online with these courses, online books, and it's going to take off. So Winston Churchill, never waste a good crisis. Next. How this pandemic is Krishna's arrangement. Take advantage now of this unique opportunity. It's not that, we're selling something and we're just going to capitalize on people's suffering. That's not what we're saying. People are suffering, and out of empathy, we've got solace for them. So take advantage and give them the medicine they need. If we sleep while they're suffering, that's a great failure. Okay, next. This is that fail forward fast. This is that mantra from Silicon Valley. Fine. Start, go. And if you make a mistake, then you'll fix it. If you take 6 months to start, and you're so careful not to make a mistake, but just go and fix the mistake, no problem. Next. I think we're almost done. What is it? So, reflections and questions. What time is it? What's that? Anybody have any quick question? Because this Mayapur video is only 5-10 minutes. We'll talk more. We need to have a meeting with the brahmacharis to figure. But does anyone have an immediate question? Do we have another mic? Turn this on, Jamal, and give it to. Let's see if we have any questions in the house here. There's only a few of us here, but.
Just had a reflection. Just wanted to thank you for making that point.
Okay, we're not, because we're online. Reflections, we don't really need it. We need questions. If anyone's got a question.
Okay.
All right, let's roll with so there it is. For you online, stay tuned. We'll send you more. Go to bookdistribution.com. And for temple presidents, because I'm going to send this out to the temple presidents, sit with your devotees, make a plan, check out this presentation, show it to your local devotees, go on bookdistribution.com. Don't waste a good crisis. This is a golden opportunity. The people are suffering. We have the transcendental medicine. Hare Krishna. Okay, now we'll show this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But actually, I'm thinking of it online. We need to roll. So this is just for fun. Take it away. Jack it up all the way. That's it. What? Can you make it full speed? Yeah.
Yeah, it's over the speaker. It needs to. I can't get the Bluetooth to work anymore. It was working fine the first time.
Okay, hold then maybe this.
I can turn this speaker on. Speaker
Go
on.
for it. Let's get some juice and stop it for now. Oh well.
Hare Krishna. I'd like to give you a report of the activities that went on at TOVP in 2019. It was a wonderful year, especially for the artwork and the embellishments that you see all around the temple. And in the video clip you see so many varieties of work that went on, especially with the GRC, marble, and also GRG, different types of works that we accomplished. And also we will show you some work that we'll be doing in the future as well, this coming year. I hope you do enjoy this video clip. Hare Krishna.
He's over there in Mayapur. He's stuck in Russia right now. But we've become one of the biggest employers in the district of Nadia. Done by devotee artists from around the world. Different people with different skills, South Africa, India, Russia, USA, from all over South America, they're all coming together. Those ceiling panels are now, we're seeing them coming with beautiful ornate ceilings and walls. The place is amazing. They opened one floor so far, the Pujari floor. It's just stunning. So I was saying that Hare Krishna, devotees have come from around the world, artists, craftspersons, to put this together. There's marble, there's molding glass reinforced concrete, there's stained glass, there's wrought iron. All of this is being done by devotees on site. And, with workers. Because people will come from around the world to see the temple, to see the Indian government's already planning how to fix the road because they're projecting the traffic level that will come of tourism. We're working on developing hotels, restaurants, all the support facilities for thousands and thousands of pilgrims coming. The planetarium will also have all kinds of lecture halls, research institutes. We're going to host seminars, scholars from around the world discussing different Vedic topics. It's going to be a hub of learning and study. Not just coming to see a beautiful building, which it will be, and not just to see the kirtans and classes, in the temple, but the research institute, the seminars, the presentations, the exhibits. For those who don't know, hanging from the ceiling, Prabhupada's design will be a not life-size, but a scale model of the universe based on the 5th canto, showing the higher planetary systems, all the different planets, all the different dvipas. The whole thing will be moving. It's like a potter's wheel and an ant walking on it. It'll explain all the phenomena that modern astrophysics and cosmology can explain. We will be able to explain, show a visual model based on the Vedic 5th canto. So it's not just mythology, it's not wishful thinking, it's not, aborigines looking at the sky and making up tales. but it's scientifically, whatever they can show, we can show, mathematical calculations, same confirmation. It's going to be, I'll shake the world. So that's what's happening here. And ultimately bringing them to Krishna Lila. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All of these become beautifully painted, so they're just lifelike. There's an example of some finished results. You know, we do those fundraisers here. We have devotees and friends here in SanDiego that are sending regular payments. This is where that money's going. Not a penny's wasted. That's Bhavananda Prabhu, the artistic director. People will walk into this building. Even now in Delhi, we have that Bhagavad Gita museum. They had to put a bench, some benches at the end of the thing, because people would go through that exhibit, and it's so stunning and mind-blowing and impressive that sometimes people, they got through it, and they would just want to sit and think for a minute. Whoa, what have I just seen? So it's going to be a mind blower. This is the scale model of how the model of the universe will work. That's Ambarish and his wife. You'll see it in a minute, but Ambarish's wife, she took the special project of designing Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa-san. It's beautiful, you'll see. She did a fantastic job. Oh, here you go. That's blue inlaid marble that will come from Brazil. Say again? Oh, she's qualified. She's a doctor, actually. These are computer renderings. Gold tile, blue marble. These are the thrones that are going back at the deities. There'll be Radha Madhav, Panchatattva, and the Acharyas. So there'll be the Sampradaya, then there'll be Panchatattva in the middle, and then Radha Madhav and the Ashtasakis. Lord Nrsingadev has his own temple. Prabhupada said he gets a little fiery, he should have his own temple. Maybe it's the 6 Goswamis. I think it's the whole Acharyas, what they wanted originally. Well, I don't know. We're going to see. BBT, the U.S., North American BBT, has sent over $1.5 million over the last 5-6 years. It's about $250,000 a year we send from North America. Slavoscovy's expert management. So it literally is, every book we distribute is a brick for Mayapur. So there it is, that's the TOVP. The sound system is being done by Bose, the best sound engineers in the world. They were involved in the architecture, they're involved in the acoustics. So the sound will be absolutely first class. You can have 5,000 devotees that are chanting in that, and the sound, it won't just be a cacophony of echo, which is a problem in big buildings, but it'll actually be first class acoustics. TOVP Ki Jai. Online book distribution Ki Jai. Cultivating people, bringing them from the first encounter of devotional knowledge all the way to first class devotees Ki Jai. Janardhan Ki Jai.